Is everyone ready? We all good? Good morning. I'm Chief Floyd Mitchell, and I'm here with Chief Sean Ferguson with the Lubbock Police and Fire Department. We also have City Manager here and members of the Council. This is a extremely tragic day for the men and women of law enforcement and firefighters. Today, Sean and I and the members of the Lubbock Police and Fire Department and the City of Lubbock have lost some heroes. What I want to do first is go over the events that occurred today, and then Sean and I will address specific questions regarding our officers and firefighters. At approximately 8:19 this morning, Lubbock Police and Fire fighters were dispatched on a single vehicular rollover accident on I-27 northbound near Drew Street, or approximately mile marker number 12. The vehicle appeared to have been traveling southbound, crossed over into the northbound lanes, and came to rest. At approximately 8:36, emergency responders, police and firefighters arrived on scene and began to work the first accident. While working this accident, a second vehicle traveling southbound on I-27 crossed over into the median. This vehicle had a trailer behind it that it was carrying, and it came to rest also in the median about 25 to 50 yards south of the first accident that the emergency responders were working. While working both accidents, a third vehicle traveling southbound on I-27 crossed over into the median and struck both 2 firefighters and 1 police officer. This vehicle continued to travel and crossed over into the northbound lanes and came to rest after going down an embankment. At approximately 8:50, an emergency call comes out from the officers and firefighters that are on scene that 2 firefighters and 1 police officer were struck at the scene, and they requested additional emergency personnel. Our police officer, which is a 27-year-old male with just over a year of service with the Lubbock Police Department, was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 firefighters that were also struck at the scene were transported to UMC Hospital, and I will let Chief Ferguson speak to that.
We had 2 firefighters struck at the scene. Both were transported immediately. They were cared for on scene by emergency personnel that were on scene. 1 firefighter was pronounced deceased at the hospital. The other firefighter is in very critical condition.
I'd like to reiterate that this is a tragic day for our family. This is a tragic day for both police and fire and the men and women of both of our departments. When road conditions get this bad, we need to make sure that people understand that they need to slow down. They need to understand that the road conditions are dangerous, and we have people out there trying to protect them, and speed and road conditions are always a factor.
In the last severe weather event, icy weather event, we had 2 police vehicles and 1 fire vehicle struck. At that time, we had damaged equipment. Now we've lost personnel. True heroes for the city of Lubbock. It's a huge loss for the public safety community here, and it was very unnecessary. If people would respect road conditions, things like this wouldn't have to happen.
With that, we'll try to address any questions that we can.
Where does an investigation stand into this, and will anybody be held responsible?
Right now we have our accident investigators out there. They will be mapping the scene, and I-27, both north and southbound, will be shut down for a while. This investigation will look at all the factors to determine if any charges will be pending at a later date.
This is the 6th fatal accident in Lubbock County in just the first 11 days of 2020. What needs to change? What adjustments are going to be made based on roads?
Based on the roads?
Or like as a law enforcement, if any?
You know, the number of fatalities that we had last year was over 50. We doubled those that we had last year. And we had already been working together with Department of Public Safety and Sheriff Rowe with the Lubbock County Sheriff's Department. We have already on the books a meeting planned for the 22nd of this month, because we were going to kick off a huge public traffic safety event. This only goes to solidify why that is so important.
Chief Fogerson, is there any identifying information you can release on the firefighter who died?
The firefighter who passed away, we're not ready to release the names yet. We want the extended family all across the country to be notified without finding out in the media. I can tell you that he was 39 years old and a 10-year veteran of the fire department. The firefighter who was injured is 30 years old and a 5-year veteran. Their families are at the hospital. We just want to make sure that all of their families notified before we release any other identifying information.
Okay.
You said that this, I'm sorry, you said this was a horrific day for you guys. What is your message to your firefighters and your officers as well when something like this happens?
Well, we pulled together as a family. Of course, we make sure everything's investigated thoroughly to see if there's anything that could have been done differently to prevent this. I know that while this accident was going on, all of our procedures were being followed. We were blocking the roads the best we can, but this was something that came from across the highway and across the median. But the message to the firefighters is that safety is our #1 concern, and even when we do things absolutely perfect, bad things still happen. That's why we need to pull together, make sure we cover for everybody, that everybody's doing everything correctly, and look out for each other. But it's a time to come together and support the family that's left, support the rest of the fire department, and to learn from what's happened, and to do everything we can to prevent it in the future.
As everyone knows, I have only been in this community a short time. But what I can tell you is the people who put on this badge, the people who put on that badge, they give their life to their communities. We are true servants. To my family here in Lubbock, my police department and fire department family, hearts go out to them. I know that my command staff is working to have counselors come in to talk to our folks that were there on scene, and to those folks that knew this officer and the firefighter. I'm sure we'll get together and make sure that we have debriefs and counselors available for them.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.